Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out the MIA solo from Avenged Sevenfold, and we're going to be trying to work it out by checking out the live performances and the practice session that Sin himself has posted. So MIA is the last track off of City of Evil. Depending on who you ask, some say that's their best album. It's definitely one of the top few for me. MIA is a really good song and the solo is excellent. It's got a lot of the classic elements of what Sin was doing at the time. It's got your fast shreddy bits, got your harmonies, and then there's a more melodic solo to end it all off. You'll also find as a guitar solo that MIA is quite highly rated by the fans, and yet, despite coming out in 2005, around 18 years ago, none of the tabs are any good. I've seen so many on Ultimate Guitar, Songster, and all the other usual suspect websites. I've watched covers, I've even seen a few other video lessons on YouTube itself, and all of them seem to prescribe at least one really awkward section. Like, some of these tabs are just unplayable. Like, the notes may be close or even correct, but no real guitarist is going to play that. And so I thought, finally, after 18 years, it's time to get this right. So what better way to do it than to look at how Sinister plays the solo live himself. Now, with the solo being as technical as it is, I can kind of forgive some of the delay in getting a good tab out for this by now, because they weren't really playing it live in the early days. And when they did play it live, it didn't always go to plan. Look, it's a really difficult solo, so... But around 5 years ago, in 2018, they did start adding MIA to the live set rotations. So we've now got a few pro shot videos of the solo live, which we can go through. And in addition, Sin also posted a video of himself practicing the solo backstage or in a dressing room or something. I gotta say, it's pretty funny. The tweet said how crazy hard the solo is, and it's something like, what the hell was I thinking back in 2005? So he's definitely gotten better over the years, and he still finds it challenging. So regardless, we've got a lot of footage now to go through, so let's see how he does it live. Now, as you can see on the screen here, I've got the original track in Reaper. I've loaded it up with 2 live videos I can find and the practice video backstage. I'm going to go through these and have a look at what he's actually playing on the fingerboard, see from each video what I can make out. This is going to take a little bit of time. When I'm pretty sure of the hand position or technique, I'll cut to that bit and show the video evidence that backs it up. But I'm going to be comparing at least these 2 live videos against each other and then hearing how that sounds against the original solo as well, because sometimes artists do change notes here or there, or maybe he's changed things for simplicity or for the sake of getting it right live. So I'll also see if there's anything that's slightly different to the original track, but let's go through it step by step. All right, can we just talk about one thing? Between whoever records these shows and whoever edits them and approves them to be posted to YouTube music channels or out to the world in general, why do you guys always cut away from the solo? I'm up to a cool bit where I want to see how he's playing it, and I get this. What am I looking at here? It's not a new thing though. It just seems like this kind of practice has always been there and always will be. So I think we're going to get a lot more information from the practice session than from live footage because of videography like that. So this song is in drop D, but we don't use the 6th string at all, so standard tuning will do. Right now I'm playing on a Music Man Majesty, and I'm using the neck pickup for the solo. Sin, what you doing? Okay, so it starts off like this. That note there is probably what you've seen if you've used the tabs. It's how I used to play it too. But you can see here, instead of going 13 on E, 9 on B, he moves it to the G string to make that a 13. And I think the reason he does that is because of the upcoming sweep. That starts in this area for sure. Now the next bit is always heavily contested. I never see a straight answer on what the sweep looks like. But as we can see Sin doing here, it starts on the 17th fret on your A string, so that's your 5th string, and you're sweeping up towards the high E. So 17, 15 on the next string, 14, 15, 13 on E. You then pick 15th fret, 16th fret, and then bend that 16. So going back to the end of that first segment where you end, that string skip looks awkward, but it now means your hand is in the position to do the sweep. Otherwise you'd be going 13, 9 on B, having to go slide up to 17 to do that, which for whatever reason Sin must have found that doing the slide to start the sweep was harder than adjusting that, doing the string skip, and then doing the sweep. Okay, so coming off that 16th fret bend, looked at this section a few times and it's definitely a slide to 21. Pick 18, then you're going down the strings, 18 on B, 19 on G, and then 15, 14 still on G. Now that slide to 21 sounds out of key, it sounds a little off or something, but he definitely plays that live. He's playing that in the practice video, and if you go back and listen to the original as well, what I'm hearing is that the slide isn't instantaneous. There's a bit of a drag to it. So by the time he's gotten to the 21st fret, the main midpoint of that note has passed and it only sounds out of key for part of it. Whereas if you just go, it sounds wrong. But if you get the slide kind of slowly and fluidly into it, it sounds right. Let me show you what the original sounds like. You hear it kind of takes a while, it doesn't just jump to 21. But if you listen to that back, it definitely hits that 21st fret. It's definitely something I've seen on lessons and in tabs to play. Because that sounds more melodically correct, but that 21st fret is definitely a hit. Okay, so I've played this a couple of times and really looked at it closely. After that, the next section is so you do a 3-string sweep starting from your 5th string, 13, 15, 17, then staying on the G string, you're going 15, 14, then on the D string, 15. Then you jump up to the 18th fret on the B string, sweep down 17th frets on D and G, 15th fret on the A, and 17th fret still on A. Oh, okay. This bit's really interesting. It's that really chromatic part there. So that's 15, 17 on A, 15, 17 on D, 15, 18, 17, 16 all on G. So you're doing 2 notes per string, starting on the E string, 20th fret, 15, then you go on to B, 17, 15, back to E, 18, 15, 17, 15 on B, then you go 17, 15 on E, 20, 15 on E, then you go 17, 15, 13 on B, 15, 12 on G. So then that's that bit's really tricky because as a guitarist you kind of expect these symmetrical shapes. So my hands are kind of ready to and then hit that 17th again, but that's not in there. Nor is the 15 to return back to the E. those two aren't there. It's just kind of cut out. I have to be consciously telling my brain and my hands to like skip those two notes every time. It's like skip, skip. So the next bit is simple on paper, but it's a little bit funny to pull off. I did note that in the live performances, he's for some reason omitting one note at the start, so he tends to start here. But in the studio, it definitely starts on 11th fret. Anyway, so in the album version, you start on the D string, 11th fret, you slide into it. You play 9, 10, 12, all on G, and you play them all at the same pace, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then after that, there's a short little burst of notes, which you can sweep or do economy picking for. So you, after you've hit the 12th fret on the G, you're then going 10 on B, 9 on E, 10 on E, and then 12 on E. After that 12, you slide up to 17th fret, bend it a bit, and then you go back 9, 10, 12, slide 15, pick them a few times each. It almost sounds like he's dragging a little bit there in the solo version, gives it a bit more feel. It's like, it's not exactly on time, but I just listened to the studio recording to get a better feel of it, so it's... Alright, that bit's crazy. So we've got some more 2 notes per string kind of things. So that's 17, 13 on E, 17, 13 on B, 17, 14 on G. Go back up to the B string, 17, 13 again, 17, 14 on G, 17, 14 on D, and then to end it, you go 15 on D, and then 17 on A. I kind of cheat for some of that and just bar with my index finger and just try and mute it carefully enough so that notes don't ring out, because it is kind of fast and I get clumsy going. A lot of that movement can be minimized if I go. Oh, that bit's the hardest bit for me. So you're finishing off from the last section, so then you sweep back up 17, 15, 14, going from 5th, 4th, 3rd string, and then all on the 3rd string you're going 17, 15, 14. So, and then you're just repeating that pattern, kind of moving up the strings. So now you're going from 4th to the 2nd string, and instead of 17, 15, 14, it's 17, 15, 13 on the 2nd string. And the highest note is now 18, so you start off with. Then from there, going from 3rd to 1st string, 17, 15, 13, 17, 15, 13. So then you move it all up to 19, 18, 17, 20, 18, 17, 18, and then 19 on G with a big bend. Every time I try and sweep it, it just doesn't sound right. The sweeps sound too fluid and the picking sounds too scratchy. I don't know if that's a technique problem or if he does actually alternate pick it the entire way through. When he plays it live, he definitely sweeps through. And I could be wrong, but when I'm hearing him play it live, I don't hear that really fluid, even picking that I heard on the studio album. Could just be studio magic. It could just be that he picked it all for that studio take. but I kind of feel like when I'm playing it, I need to alternate pick it, which is very messy and very noisy, but when I get it right, it sounds much better than sweeping to me. With both of those live videos, the first set of notes in each repeated section, I don't hear them very clearly, and I get the same results when I try and sweep it. So do what you can. If it's not sounding right to you and it's sounding a little bit weak or a little bit too fluid or loose, try alternate picking it, but alternate picking is very difficult. Very messy, kind of just spray and praying there with your hand, but when it works, it sounds better to me. So avid tab followers are going to be disappointed with this one. After you end on that, the next section is which is sad because a lot of the tabs and videos I found had that all on one string, which is very easy. But no, it's a 2-string thing, so you have to put in a bit more effort for that. Next bit goes like, so it's 12 on your 4th string, then going up to G, it's 10, 12, 10, 12, then 10, 13, 10, 13 on B, and then 15 bend. The actual phrasing is a little bit different though. The feel is more like notes are grouped in 4. So considering that you're starting on here, 12th fret D string, you do the next 3 notes, and then that last 12 there is part of the next group. So you kind of have to do a bit of a economy pick to get through that G to B transition. And then just a big bend on 15. Then after that, there's a little arpeggio starting on your 4th string on the 8th fret. So that's 8th fret, 10th fret on the 4th string. Then you start going down the strings towards your high E, and that's 9, 8, 8. You then go 12, 8, 12, all on E. And then while that note's ringing out, you slide to the 15th fret. And then after you're at 15, you pull off to 12, 15, 12. And then there's some crazy slidey bit, which is just like, I just keep my hands over 20 and 15 as the start and end points. And then your other 2 fingers can kind of be anywhere. It might be a more precise way of doing it, but every practice and live video that I've seen, he just kind of makes something up. So I'm going to do that too. That bit's just 9, 10, 12, all on E, slide to 18, 17, 12, 15. And then you go. So that's the hard bits of the solo covered. I think everything else is kind of agreed upon by this point, but I'll just run through it quickly so you have an idea of what to play. For the start of the last solo, the studio version and the live version seem a little different, although it's kind of hard to hear. Maybe he's doing the exact same thing in both, and it just doesn't come through well in the studio version. So from what I hear in the studio version, it's... But he does a little hammer-on pull-off in the live one, which might actually be there as well in the studio. I'm not too sure. I actually like that way better because I do the 12, 13, 12 hammer on pull off thing and then get my index finger ready for this bar chord down on the 10th fret. Otherwise, if I don't think about it, I have my index fretted on one single string, and then I get stuffed up trying to go down for the sweep. So I'll just pop some tabs on this. I think it's pretty easy to follow on, except for maybe the last bit. A little shaky, but you get the point. So thanks for raising this in the comments and suggesting it as an idea. Ended up being super fun, and this is a solo I've always loved. Super glad to put together some tabs for it that I think are pretty accurate, pretty close to the real thing. Definitely a step up from some of the other things out there, and hope it helps some of you guys learn this solo too. Oh, my cat just jumped up on my shelf. Oh my god, she disconnected something. I don't hear my guitar anymore. If you enjoyed, please let me know. If you've got any other suggestions for some cool songs that maybe aren't covered better elsewhere, or tabs are just shoddy, or there's no good resources for it, let me know, because it's been pretty fun going through some of these tracks and trying to find out what's really going on from a guitarist's point of view. Yeah, it's great if it's a more Avenged Sevenfold. Like, teenage me is super happy with my channel right now. Sin is the reason I first picked up the guitar when I heard Blinded in Chains and Backcountry solos in like year 8. So this has been a super fun return to like my original music taste. But I'm open to other bands and guitarists too. So if you got a suggestion, just leave it in the comments. Otherwise, see you next time.